And now, to round off our evening of programmes from Granada TV, a celebration of all those northern clichés, from flat caps to ferrets.
As a band, our life was hell.
We never did too well.
We were never asked to play the same place twice.
We were paid our final wage.
And then an agent came backstage
And gave us all some brilliant advice.
Pretend to be northern. Just smile and act dense. Just sing something northern. It doesn't have to make sense. Make a list of northern cliches. And you can't go wrong. Put in any order. You've got a northern song.
My brain and your hands will make a working partnership.
Oh, partnership?
Aye.
Oh, that's a different thing. I thought you were asking me to wed you.
I am.
But you're the master's daughter.
Maybe that's why. Maybe I've had enough of father, and you're as different from him as any man I know.
But it's a bit awkward, like, you talking to me like this.
I'll tell you something, Will. It's a poor sort of woman who'll stay lazy when she sees her best chance slipping from her.
I'm your best chance?
Yeah, that.
Well, by gum, I never thought of this.
You just go
Tribe, clogs, going to the dogs, Wigan a Blackpool tram. Brass band, footies in your hands, Griffith's the next door's man. Cloth, cap, hanging for the strap, shawls and scabbies. Hop, hop, 7 to a cot, heads carved and mushy peas.
No son of mine's going fighting a war for land-owning jingos and liberals not worthy at name.
It's decided.
You're a textile designer. What do you know about carrying a gun? You've got a responsibility to mill.
Colin Bell for Mexico! Colin Bell for Mexico! Put the baby on the boat! Colin Bell in Mexico! We are the champions! We are the champions!
2, 4, 6, 8.
Who do we appreciate? Ryan,
Look, she's equalised.
Oh, did I ought to dash on the field and take a photo?
No, sit down. We don't want to get her big-headed.
Oh, I did it! I scored! I got it right between them two posts!
Congratulations.
Well,
Well, what, Hilda?
well, what did you do to her when she scored?
What are you on about?
You kissed her, that's what you did. Well, I've just scored.
Stan.
Hello.
Hilda wants kissing, amongst other things.
Oh, Beryl. Love you.
Pardon?
What?
What you just said?
I just said what, Beryl?
Before you said what? I said pardon, because you said something romantic. Something beginning with L. L stands for...
Leeds United.
Winston, your mum and Dad have gone to bed. We've still got half an hour before my last bus goes.
The odd through ball from Peters wouldn't have broken your heart neither, would it? He was starving, Colin Bell, you know, jealousy.
Sorry about this skirt. It always rides up when I sit down. Thinking about the beast in
A
you.
couple of weeks in City's reserve to do Peters no harm.
Winston, what are you thinking?
Of course, the burning question now is, will Colin be fit for City's match tomorrow night?
Winston, the burning question is, where do I stand?
It's an important match, that City v Newcastle at home. Up the line! What?
Winston, we've been going steady now for nearly 3 months. I want to know where I stand.
Yeah.
Well?
What?
Pardon?
Oh, what?
Hey, I found a paper in the back. Hey, I found a paper. You know what it says? Liverpool 0, Everton 6.
Why have you got save written on your hat? Is it 'cause you can't spell United? Is it 'cause you being a dustman and City's rubbish.
I've tasted their waffles and corn on the cob, but give me some hot pot straight from the hob.
The food's terrible.
Is it?
Well, they're always trying to make me eat boiled fruit. I said to that nurse, I said, it's all right for folk as like it, but I like somebody that's looked over a world.
They say of these parts that where there's food, there's muck. And if there were a northern flag, it would portray a limp black pudding resting on a bed of instant mashed potatoes. It's all right for me because I bring food parcels. What have you got in here?
A breast of chicken.
Do you know, if you took a breast of chicken and filled it with butter and chopped chives and rolled it around and then covered it in flour and beaten egg and breadcrumbs and deep-fried it, it
Yes.
would be a very beautiful dish.
I think so, yes.
What are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to take it back and make sandwiches.
What are you going to do with the chicken? Do you know that if you split the chicken open and painted it with burgundy and mustard and grilled it with butter, it could be a lovely dish. What are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to boil it.
What would you get normally when you came home for dinner in the evening?
Well, what is it today? It's Thursday
Yes.
today? Oh, Thursday liver and bacon with new potatoes.
Thursday's always liver, bacon, new potatoes. How about Tuesday?
Tuesday, potato pie.
Now, you've just bought some fish.
Yes.
What are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to fry it, batter it and fry it, chips, peas.
And are you going to have a lovely sauce with it?
Oh, yes, HP.
Now, I'm going to show you how you can make a good, nourishing and sustaining repast for 4 people from just 1 fish head and a carrot.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Ooh, yeah, sure you do. Bertha Cobden. I mean, they don't call you Backyard Bertha for nothing. And you didn't get that bust playing tiddlywinks.
Where to get yours? Johnson's Tripe Shop.
This is a dead cow's stomach, popularly known as tripe. And this is United Cow Products, or UCP, in Monton, in Manchester. They're one of the oldest tripe-producing firms in the country. Who knows the universe? But when you look at these raw cows' stomachs, fresh from the abattoir, it's difficult to believe that they're ever going to be edible, never mind a delicacy.
The standard answer to people who are unhappy about their food is no one else has complained. Local larders, to borrow a phrase, contain the inedible, waiting for the unspeakable.
Sally, Sally, don't ever wander away from the alley and me.
I'm here, Fred. I'm at the station, Fred. Come and get me, Fred. I nearly said you get at the station, get the next flipping train to Land's End.
Nearly said that, did you?
Yeah.
Nearly quite cheeky then, weren't you? I had a cat once, nearly a Tom. Only short of a couple of things. Puts me in mind of you, love.
See that poor soul in torment over there? They don't give her a while Christmas Eve. She could be in a better place any minute. She goes about just like that, and know for a positive fact she hasn't got one policy to her name. Hey, how's that gumboil of an husband of yours?
Oh, he's got flu.
Oh, trust him. I'm not mental. I'm only lay lying here to save people talking, especially here at Chip Shop.
Of course you did quite right.
You're humouring me again, are you? I'll not be humoured.
All right, then, you awkward old faggot, if that's the way you want it. Get out of that bed and get down that corridor.
That's more like it.
See that move? Yes. Well, that's not the hand that's gonna hit you. Ow!
Oh, my God, Francis. Oh, you're so tough and butch these days, just like Charles Bronson. Do it again, I like it. Hey, I'm free about 9 if you want to slap me about a little.
You better go, Skull. You're not safe when our Maddie starts talking like that. Even our dog hides.
I met him actually about 2 years ago. He comes from Liverpool.
You know, I'm not very keen on Liverpudlians, really. I don't like the way they talk. Yeah, it does me no, but I think I took him back to my flat one night, but I think he was a bit frightened of me, you know. Because he escaped about 6 o'clock in the morning and went back to Liverpool.
Why? It's Dr. Macduff. Is it bad news about George?
Have faith in me, Mrs. Fairchild. I'll send your husband back to you exactly as he was before.
Like I thought, bad news.
It hasn't even started yet.
I can't help pity.
Try when you don't get dehydrated.
What do you think Mrs. Tam will be wearing?
Black crepe.
Oh, Ian, she's getting married.
Yes, I know. Again. That organ wants to play the March of the Gladiators when she comes in and the March of Time when she goes out.
Here's good luck to the pint pot, good luck to the barley mow. Jolly good luck to the pint pot, good luck to the barley mow. Oh, the pint pot, half a pint, jill pot, half a jill, quarter jill, nip again down the round bow. Here's good luck to the barley mow.
Northern men are cowards. They fear glamour. When they're near glamour, they become boorishly aggressive. Northern men are men's men. They're happier with the dowdily dressed career woman because they can give her a pint of beer and leave her in the corner until they want to go home. False eyelashes, mascara and scent to the northern man are the trappings of a stripper. But if his wife or girlfriend should go out and things like that, God help her, I think he'd die from embarrassment. This fear of glamour even affects the way northern men dress themselves. Their clothes lack imagination and are dull and not very tasteful. If they do try, they're always afraid that people are going to think they're effeminate. I think the North's full of string-vested men.
Really? I'm a bachelor, yeah. Yeah, I've always been a bachelor. I was married for 10 years until the wife got killed, but basically I was a bachelor even then.
It drops off.
Oh.
After the first few years of marriage, starts dropping off.
What?
Conversation.
Oh.
Well, they've done a survey, it were in the paper. Why marriages go on the rocks.
Oh.
And you know what they reckon? The main thing is when husband and wife don't do things together.
Oh.
And the rot starts with conversation.
Squeeze that pot, will you?
I'd like to be able to go on watching Oldham Athletic at Boundary Park. Because I've tried to ensure that carries on. I've left it in my will that they cremate me and scatter me ashes at penalty area at Cheddarton Road End.
Meet Henry Whittaker, age 73. It's the peak season for clog dancers and Henry is limbering up for his next big session on Saturday. Will you be as sprightly when you're 73? Henry, that was superb. Think you could do with a breather after that?
No, I'm quite all right. I'm used to these things.
How is it that you can do all this at the ripe old age of 73?
Well, I live on nature lines like a vegetarian. I've been over 30 years.
Have you?
Never tired.
You stick solely to vegetables and that sort of food?
Yes, yes.
And you don't find you're ever short of energy?
Never short of energy, full of energy.
Can you touch your toes?
Touch my toes. See?
And it... Yes. Yes, I can see you fit.
Oh, Lily. Walter, come in. Sit down, won't you? Have you had your tea? No. Pity, we've just had ours.
But you, my darling Bradley, have torn down the shutters, flung wide the curtains, and thrown open the casements, and let in the glorious shafts of the noonday sun.
I'll tell you what wouldn't come amiss right now. A mug of hot sweet tea.
Well, I'll put the kettle on, love. Then, if you like, I'll see if I can knock spots off you at Ludo.
Well, never thought I'd be playing Ludo again.
Oh,
Life in the blackout. Ludo. Cups of tea. Fancy a cup of tea, Dad?
Your tea is piggin served, sir.
I'll get some more water.
Have you had your tea?
I'm gagging for a cup of tea.
Go and make a cup of tea, will you? And a lovely cup of tea.
Do you want a cup, Hilda?
No, thanks, love. You take your time, though. Now, where'd I put that? No, you see, I'm rushing for the bus. Oh, here it is. Now, finish your tea, love. Take your time. Ta-ra.
Tra?
I'll do. Hilda, Chuck!
Hey, she's out, Stan.
Well, already?
Yeah, galloping off to catch bus. Something's about a penny for a new job.
Oh, flipping heck.
But she said it'd be all right if I stopped and... There's now to square as folk.
You see, I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm 5,000 miles away from Manchester. If you want to be fussy, 5,011 miles away from Rochdale. Excuse the accent. You see, when I'm in Dallas, Texas, I have to talk that way so they'll understand what I'm talking about. But, of course, I'm talking in Manchester now, aren't I? So I better get back home.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Dad of us all as dwells up there at Welkin, what they call these right holy.
Dearest wife, joy of me life, I hope thou'rt feeling better. I'd like to come and visit thee, but I've got so much to do. I soon get into run of things, for there's nought to run in a home. Just washing up and make to fotch, where's manage on me own.
I'll tell you confidentially what this street's called.
What is it called?
Tally Alley.
Tally Alley? Tally?
No, you don't know. It's when people live together and they're not married.
I see.
It's always had this and that name. Of course, I didn't know while I got here, you know what I mean? It's always had that name. Tally Alley.
Do you know what a winter hedge is?
Yes, it's a clothes ice. What you put clothes on to dry.
How does it get called a winter hedge?
I don't know. It's just an old-fashioned word, isn't it? Old Lancashire.
I have mashed tea and sided table. Aye, and mended fire. Queen's English, that's what we speak of here. Remember the famous words of Henry V at Agincourt? He leant on his sword and he said, "By our fair Clemmed." And this...
On earth as it is in heaven.
May the thoughts reach as far as our intake. Let's have things done it well down here. Same road as thy's and done up in thy fleck up there.
Oh, it's parky out there this morning. Cold enough for a walking stick.
Oh, heck. A bit parky in that room of mine.
By heck, it's parky out there.
Does that mean it's cold?
Oh, it's cold as the devil's arse out there, sir.
It's turned out nice again.
I was talking to a Rochdale fellow one day, and we was arguing which had the most rain. I said, well, you can be quiet, I said, because Oldham, they call Oldham the urine pot of the north. He said, no, you've got it wrong, Rochdale. I said, well, it might be Rochdale, but they empty it in Oldham.
I already knew that.
How could you know? Even my father did. I mean, Bradley Hardacre didn't know.
I had it off your mother. The information, that is. She told me that Bradley Hardacre was not your father.
She told you? Why? Why?
Because she knew I loved you and dreamed of marrying you.
There was one thing I really wanted to do with my Christmas Clark Street, and that was have it snowing. So now you can see I've arranged it.
Oh, bloody salt's gone.
It's gone in my eyes. Oh, it's terrible.
Look, Father, the first snow of winter. You know what this means? The eviction season started.
Shut that window.
You came along, made life a song, Sally. If I lost you, I wonder what I do.
Morning. Well, I never expected I'd see anything like that happening in Coronation Street. Well, in a minute, I'm just making up an order. Oh, you don't need to worry yourself. We've got something to talk about.
What didn't you expect to see, Ina?
A certain gentleman, if that's the right word for him, going into the house of a certain lady. If I'm correct, that's not the right word for her.
Well, Hilda Ogden says she saw him coming out of there again this morning. I thought it was for staying in a hotel. What a flipping tale.
Mind you, I'll say one thing for you. You're not as bad as Bet Lynch.
I mean, look at the time and she'll still be in bed, won't she? Between you and me, she's always been quicker at getting in bed than getting out. I'm just pointing out.
Oh, what's all this, eh? Pair of you gassing away like the clappers. Got hold of a juicy bit of scandal, have you?
Scandal? No, there's no scandal around here, is
No,
there?
it's been dead quiet for weeks, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Very quiet.
I don't think you'll take her in.
I'll bet her feet are under his table before this night's out.
And I'll bet you she's out of that front door before you can get the double top.
I never thought I'd see it. Mind you, I've seen some surprise packages of men going to that house at night in peacetime and in wartime, but I never thought I'd see Harry Hewitt.
Which house is that?
Well, not the workhouse, anyway. You know, some folk, well, you finish the story proper.
Now we're fully northern,
and it works a treat. Spend half the year in Preston and the other in Crete. But I'm bungalows in Weybridge. Before too long, motivated a press.
Mummy, see.
From a northern song.
2 pints, please. Snap. Go on, mate. No, it's all right. Up to you. Oh, Charles. 2 pints is it? Aye, 2 pints it is. Do you live round here, then? Yeah. Didn't have a record round here before, have we, kid? Ah, what for? Birds. Oh, we picked up a couple of crackers at the locks, eh?
Sewing a button on. I thought you were stitching a pillow slip. Whatever have you got all this cotton on?
Oh, have you got too much?
Amen.
I'm glad you didn't make it. I was just about giving up hope.
Yeah, well, Dennis isn't with us.
Oh, well, he's getting on a bit.
Uncool, baby.
Fish, chips, cycle clips, gaslight games in streets. Nutty,
Slack, Brivy out the back, Gridley.
and Reeds.
Fog, smoke, sitting on the bog, cobbled in the morning mist. Park, drive, 10 at 45 from a back street abortionist.
That's all from BBC Two's Tribute to Granada. Good night.
Granada, tierra ensangrentada.
Que me habla de amores. Great service you get, printing your colors set from Granada.
No tengo otra cosa que darte que un ramo de rosas.
De rosa de suave fragancia que le dieron marco a la Virgen.
Great service, great sets, that's Granada.